The storm and the steel, Lena's epic true comeback. The night the storm ripped shingles from her roof and the landlord taped a warning to the door, Lena sat on a milk crate and listened to the rain drill holes in her plans. 33, single mom, 2 jobs, ankles that ached after stairs, and a doctor's note that read, hypertensive, pre-diabetic. She stared at the paper like it was a verdict. Then she pulled a receipt from a takeout bag, wrote a sentence with a broken pencil, and read it to the thunder like a vow. I am training to be strong enough to carry a life, not just survive it. Underneath, smaller, sharper. No drama, only evidence. That line wasn't poetry. It was bail money for a future self. The storm kept talking. Lena stood, taped the receipt to her bathroom mirror, and set out shoes by the door. If motivation arrived, good. If not, the calendar would. She didn't have extra hours or extra cash. She had 10 minutes and the stubbornness to use them. That was enough to start. Day 1 refused the montage. She put her phone on airplane mode, walked 5 minutes up the apartment hallway with a deliberate breath. Inhale through the nose, lips parted on a long exhale, until steps and lungs agreed. Then one small circuit that touched everything without waking every old ache. Box-height goblet squats with a backpack of books. Incline push-ups on the kitchen counter, elbows tucked, ribs stacked. One-arm backpack rose to unroll her keyboard shoulders. Suitcase carries with water jugs down the hallway for posture and anti-tilt. A 35-45 second forearm plank with glutes on, and a slow, quiet exhale. 2 clean reps left in the tank. Always. She filmed one set on a scratched phone, winced at flared ribs, and wrote 2 cues on a sticky note. Exhale to stack, and knees track toes. Baselines went in a thrifted notebook. Waist at the navel, max clean push-ups, easy mile time. The line that closed the page would become ritual. Showed up, not perfect, proud. The point was not fireworks. It was friction-light beginnings she could repeat tomorrow. Structure turned the vow into steel. She opened a free calendar app and circled 3 45-minute training windows like rent payments. Monday dawn before school drop-off, Wednesday lunch between shifts, Saturday morning when her neighbor could watch her kid for an hour. Program, a 3-day full-body split that hits the 6 pillars every week. Squat or lunge, hinge, push, pull, carry, and core. Warm-up, 5 minutes. Brisk walk, 15 to 20 band pull-aparts, 2 easy ramp sets for the first lift. Technique was leverage. 5 cues fixed 80% of what went wrong. For squats and lunges, root a tripod foot, big toe, little toe, heel. Ribs stacked over pelvis, knees track over toes, drive the floor away. For hinges and deadlifts, crack a walnut in your armpits to lock lats. Push hips back like closing a car door. Load close to the body, long neutral spine. Finish with hips through, not lower back. For pressing, screw hands into floor or bar. Elbows about $45 on push-ups, bench, biceps by ears overhead. Brace before you press. For pulling, chest proud, shoulders down and back, elbows toward hip pockets, brief pause and squeeze. For carries and core, zip the ribs, walk tall, no swaying, make the midline earn its paycheck. She filmed 1 set per main lift weekly and fixed one thing at a time because precision compounds faster than load. If the last rep got sloppy, the set was over. Strong stopped being a number on a plate. It became a shape she could repeat when nobody clapped. Cardio stopped being punishment and became the engine. The rule was 2 + 1, 2 Zone 2 sessions and 1 brief interval day. Zone 2 lived at a conversational pace. Incline walks in the park, easy cycling on a rickety gym bike at the community center. 25 to 40 minutes where she could talk in full sentences, and her heart rate sat roughly at 60-70% of max. Intervals were joint-friendly and short. 8 rounds of 20 seconds smooth hard on a bike with 100 seconds easy, bracketed by a 5-minute warm-up and cool-down. The quiet MVP was neat, non-exercise activity that Lena collected like spare change. Walking calls, parking far, taking stairs, a 10-minute loop after meals to blunt glucose spikes and clear the static. Steps slid from 6 to 8 to 10,000 most days without buying a thing. When fat loss stalled, She added 15 minutes of Zone 2, or trimmed weekend drift, before even thinking about more hit. Engines are forged in hours the algorithm never notices. Food decided whether the work showed. Money was real, so menus obeyed math. Starting calories matched goal. Body weight in pounds x12 for fat loss, adjusted only every 14 days by trend, not mood. Protein was law at 0.8, 1.0 grams per pound of goal body weight across 3 to 4 meals. Plates followed the plate method: half produce, a palm of lean protein, a cupped hand of fiber-rich carbs, a thumb of healthy fats. Her protein per dollar list lived on the cabinet: eggs, dry beans, lentils, canned tuna, chicken thighs, 0% Greek yogurt. Carbs were rice, oats, potatoes, tortillas. Veg were frozen mixes: cabbage, carrots. Fruit was whatever was on sale. Breakfast: oats with powdered milk and banana. Lunch: beans, rice, salsa cabbage slaw, and whatever protein the week allowed. Dinner: lentil chili, chicken thighs with potatoes and broccoli, or a one-pan stir-fry from frozen veg. 2 to 3 liters of water daily. A pinch of salt after sweaty sessions. Eating out stopped being sabotage. Order protein first. Swap fries for potatoes or greens. Ask for sauces on the side. Drink water before the entree. Cravings got a bridge snack: yogurt, berries, 10 dark chocolate chips, then lights out on purpose. 95% of results came from food she could repeat on tired Tuesdays. Recovery turned from afterthought to engine. She guarded sleep like rent: 7 to 9 hours when possible, consistent sleep and wake times even on weekends. The bedroom became a cave. Cool, dark, phone charging in the kitchen. A landing strip calmed the mind. Dim lights, a warm shower, 10 pages of a paperback, 2 minutes of slow exhale breathing. A 5-minute mobility loop, unwound desk hips and sore erectors. Couch stretch, thoracic opener over a rolled towel, ankle rocks against a wall. 3 slow, world's greatest reps. Between shifts, she practiced box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, so stress leaked out instead of compounding like interest. Every 6 to 8 weeks she planned a deload. Trim total sets by about 30–40%, sharpen technique, leave the gym with caged energy. Pain got a framework, not a panic. At 3:10 discomfort, reduce load and keep the pattern. At 4:05, change the variation. At 6, or sharp pain, stop, walk, reassess. She trained around pain, not through it. Longevity is the only flex that counts. Setbacks showed up like bills, on time, without apology. A fever sent her son home for 3 days. A double shift ate her Wednesday. The landlord inspected, and her heart rate didn't like it. Old Lena would have declared defeat. New Lena shrank the plan. 10 focused minutes. Goblet squats to a box. Incline push-ups. Rows. A 30-second plank. Until the timer sang. She swapped back squats for goblets on knee-grumpy days. Pressed dumbbells with a neutral grip when shoulders hissed, and slowed eccentrics to own positions. She wrote 3 identity lines on her mirror. I train on busy days. I choose protein. I never miss twice. And said them out loud because hearing herself choose mattered. She put a resistance band by the sink for 10 pull-aparts before long calls. An attendance buddy got a window text on training days. The fridge grid grew check marks until streaks became too valuable to break. Perfection never lived in her apartment. Persistence did. By week 8, she could feel the floor under her feet again. Stairs no longer charged interest. Grocery bags rode up 2 flights in one trip. Push-ups doubled. Planks stretched past a minute. Her RDL finally looked like a hinge, not a bow. She circled 2 dates on the calendar in red: the city's charity hill climb, and 6 weeks later, a community strength day with a novice deadlift and a carry. Symbolism mattered. The hill had been the place her chest begged for a bargain. The carry would measure posture she needed for everything else. Training tilted, without turning circus. More incline in Zone 2, rucks with a backpack of water bottles, carries at the end of every lift day, deadlifts kept clean at 1–2 reps in reserve. She rehearsed event mornings like meetings. Conservative warm-ups, chalk routine, breath on the pick, eyes on the horizon, mantra ready. Own the setup, the rep will follow. The hill morning smelled like wet grass and resolve. At halfway, the old voice hissed, "Stop here. You always stop here." She lengthened her exhale, pictured the receipt on the mirror, and climbed anyway. 6 weeks later, she stood on plywood and chalk and pulled a small PR that felt less like conquering weight and more like setting one down, the one that said she couldn't tee. The scoreboard didn't give medals, it gave mornings back. 90 days after the storm, a nurse cuffed her arm and raised an eyebrow. Blood pressure inside the lines, resting heart rate down, waist -3 inches. "Keep doing whatever this is," the doctor said. Lena smiled because whatever this is had a name: evidence. Here's the handoff, because a story is a bridge, not a museum. Tonight, write your why on paper you can touch and tape it where excuses live. Block 3 45-minute windows in your calendar now and defend them like rent. Run the simple split that hits squat, hinge, push, pull, carry, core. Keep 1-2 clean reps in reserve on compounds and progress one variable weekly. Add a rep, the smallest plate, slower eccentrics, or shorter rests. Use the 2+1 cardio rule and collect steps like pennies. Build protein-anchored plates you can repeat. Drink water like it pays the bills. Sleep like strength depends on it, because it does. Film 1 set per lift, fix 1 cue, repeat weekly. When a day explodes, shrink the plan. When a week wobbles, never miss twice. Tomorrow morning, run this jump start without negotiating with your feelings. Day 1, back squat 388, bench 388, row 3-10, farmer carry 4x40 steps, plank 3x40s. Day 2, zone 2, walk cycle 30-40 minutes plus the 5-minute mobility loop. Day 3, RDL 3A8, standing press 3A8, pull down 310, split squat 3-8 tar leg, palaf press 310 tar side. Day 4, steps to 8-10K and protein at each meal. Day 5, lunge 310 tar leg, incline DB press 310, chest supported row 310, KB swing 312, side plank 330 side. Day 6, intervals 8x20s smooth hard, 100s easy, plus long hamstring, calf stretch. Day 7, outdoor walk 30-45 minutes. Review the log, plan next week. Buy 2 proteins, 2 veg, 2 carbs, you'll actually cook. When your brain whispers, later, answer now. When a rep gets messy, end the set. When a day collapses, take the win that still exists. Walk, plank, protein, sleep. Repeat until your storm becomes your origin story, and your steel is the part that never bends. Keep pushing your limits. Wardline. Subscribe for more powerful ideas.